Yako kigere
Uganda omulundi guno teri kujjako kigere wese
akuna kujjako kigere abasajja bapulaninga ebintu ebigenda okusuula bannayuganda ebisembayo Museveni sebo mbu yeddiza ettaka
abantu tulina kubatwala
abali abadde bawoza nze nina akataka kange simanya biki gavumenti egenda kweddiza ettaka kateebereza gavumenti yababbi okweddiza ettaka native uganda neogenda kusigala ku nsiro kati namwe ababadde ku biri eyo nze simanya nze politics tankwatako neekolera kasente kange okakoze okatutte uganda oguze ettaka ozimbye ennyumba bagitutte gavumenti ekugambye gavumenti yenannyini ttaka kateebereza abo ababbi bakutte ku ttaka ly'omunayuganda omunayuganda ogenda sigala ogenda sigala ng'oliho mulesa ettaka balitutte gwe baddawoza nti tebinkwatako nekolera akasente kange ebyobufuzi tebinkwatako ettaka kabalitwale ng'olyawo eno kibeere ekyokuyiga wisiru habu tukyalina obudde butini nnyo okuyiga eggwanga lyaffe omuntu bwakutwalako ettaka oba osigazaaki
olwedde bagawambawamba dda kati bagala
kale atawumula kuba nene bweru gye tuli namwe nze ndi wano okugamba bannayuganda nga bonna ge babadde balimbalimba mutulugunya omunayuganda tujja kuprotektinga nammwe abasirikale tujja kugulira ettaka simanye eranda simanye eyuke simanya wa muganda wange teri kintu kibi nga kubeera ku mawanga kitegeera naawe ali eyo abadde alowooza bakuwa emiggo okube omwana wa struggle embooko olwo bakusuubiza okufunira viza ekutwala mu Amerika bannange n'abaana abazungu batukooye kubanga n'ensi ebuze kati gundi tekinologi yajja tebalina bagenda kuleta nabo baba batumba kati gwe omunayuganda yesaawa twerulule abasajja basigaze ebintu Museveni watusima tukagenda kujjawo okulonda Museveni watusimatuka agenda kujjawo okulonda agenda kujjako obwannannyini ku ttaka ng'ettaka lya gavumenti eriwo akakundi kaabwe ak'abatuusi n'abayima nga bwe bapulaninga kingdom sheku yaabwe obwakabaka bonna busaanyizzaawo agaali kukola obwakabaka bwe nga yennannyini ttaka ng'ettaka lya uganda lyonna liri kati gwe omunnayuganda native kino kikulekawa wabadde awoza busimanya Museveni jju NRM kubanga ofunayo akawogo muganda wange bakuwa byoya bya nswa omuntu bw'akuggyako ettaka oba omaze okufuuka omuddu oba omaze okufuuka sireevu okiwulira yasooka kuggyako ndagamuntu naye banga erina expiry date kati akuggyeko ettaka kati osigazaaki
oyogedde ku nsonga eyo eya security eno message kanjiwe abaganda abasirikale ebinyigiriza abanayuganda nammwe bibanyigiriza muri baganda baffe naye ogezaako okwenyigira mu kintu ky'okutemula bannayuganda alabye omuzeeyi omukadde myaka kyenda akulembedde eggwanga lino lyakanda naye avaayo agamba nti omusirikale omu abeera ne mundu emu amasasi kumaali ekigenderwa kikyakutemula bannayuganda naye kwe omusirikale owa bulungi nti omusajja yavuddeyo n'akola ne statement n'akkiriza nti musula bubi naye ye yasalawo akule mundu alabye vidiyo ye
muyayo oyo omanyi musula muyumba basubi Museveni asula mu byumba bwa ssubi owange muhozi
yagambye
muhozi mwasula
Latifa
wangi
yabadde agamba bano abali mu barracks bano abaana yabadde agamba bano abawansi yabadde tagamba ye yasalamu okwegaddinga abantu bano basula bubi yakkiriza nti basula bubi naye ngakwe banyirwamu ki naye akola byakulwanyisa wakusuza bubi bw'oba musirikale
nedda gamba n'abasirikale bafunamu ki ng'okutta emmundu ya bukadde 10 bukadde meka ng'ofuna omusala gwa mitwalo 40 anti kati ekyakola abasirikale abaavuwaza ne basigala nti balina kusabiriza ye yalina okubawaako obusammambi babeere nga balirayinga ku ye triki ya Museveni agamba tasobola kufuga bantu bagagga ekyayavuwaza n'abannayuganda n'abasirikale tasobola kubawa musaala mulungi kitegeera wabula abawabimu
baganda baffe kumugeza baganda baffe kumugeza n'omukwatirwa omusajja oyo omusajja muleke abanansi bamujjeko ate namwe mubakateko
ebibuuzaako banaye naye kyembuuza ng'oggyeko propaganda nsi ki erina idea ezitali expired ng'oggyeko propaganda wammwe wemuleeta wano ku social media atali na ku ground ettaka lye bagenda okutwala lyeriibwa ng'oggyeko propaganda nti abasirikale babasasula kitono nsi ki esasula abasirikale okusinga baddoko you guys tayira mubeere mu reality mugende mukole omusajja ataddewo emirembe
kiriwo emirembe n'abantu siriwalirako Sankara wabasirikale embeera gye basulamu kwe gye basulamu mirembe giriwa emirembe ng'abantu bali makomera bawambibwa emirembe giriwa wamma kyuma jangu osula ono omusiru wansi senga ne wamodoleta senga nkusuulira nawo kati waki ozo otugamba waki ozo bitugambira wano waki ozo bitugambira wano abasirikale abasulanga muhoza asula mama yingi ya pole muhoza asula mama yingi ya pole tokolireko gwe emirembe giriwa Museveni ayagala kutwala olaba ettaka babadde balibba abantu balina ebyapa byabwe kati waki ozza okubyogerera wano genda obyogerera eri mu NRM waki ozze wano genda tobyogerera wano sebo tojja kutumanyirira wano eno peegi yankyukakyuka Sankara kakati omulotekitinga geyiniziza mwe tukimanyi mwagala kola dynasty yamwe ku ttaka lya Uganda naye tekigenda kusoboka okitegeera genda obyogerera eri ewa mu NRM tobireeta wano
damu ebibuuzo
Juma jangu osula ono Sankara munyampi jangu ojje wano Gasiya
bwe tolina mutuuze oyinza n'okuba ng'olina musubi
wangi
oli musudani
ono house manager ono house sirebe kankubuuze Sankara oli muna Uganda are you a native Ugandan?
It seems you are just maybe a natural.
No, are you a native Ugandan? Nkubuuza emirembe giruliddawa nga ba edi muto bali mu basement emirembe giruliddawa ng'abantu abali mu campaign balya tiyagasi bakubwa mingo emirembe giriwa giriwa emirembe gy'ogamba emirembe giriwa gali tannabukenya yattibwa Kibalama yabuzibwawo
kigundi bannayuganda okusinga abalala
bakawesi battibwa Masasi
tolina kyoyogera
Muhammad Kirumira yattibwa
muddemu ku magezi
amagezi gegaliwa gotugamba gwe manyininyini gosooka weetekemu amagezi waki yozza kikuleeswa nakyo gano bigambira eri wa Museveni
mulayivu mulowooza gavumenti ekyuka nakwogera bwogezi
kati gwewaky ekikuleese wano wasikuuzira kati okola kiki ekikuleese wano
nenolaba abantu
kiki ekikuleese wano kati odifendinga gainizi zammwe
kino ne balimba
odifendinga gainizi zammwe abannayuganda baabuuka si bye biri bya Museveni byajja mu 2008 nga tewali midiya kati the camera is exposing everything gavumenti ekyavudde dda kitta abantu kibya amataka g'abantu balepinga abaana musodomizinze abaana mu makomera naye ajja wano atugulira gasiya. The world is watching, I'm telling you. Guno mulembe si bwe guli ogwa 1986 Museveni lwejja natta abantu 500,000 in darkness. Ngensi teraba.
It was watching all the way from Europe.
Yeah, tekukyali gwa kulimba guno mulembe. We have to expose you. The world have to know that Museveni is a killer, is a murderer. You know these people have been using Museveni okumutwala okuterrorize East Africa at large. Nga bamufuula mbu is a peacekeeper yet is creating insecurity in African countries. Kati ali wano atugamba atubuulira mukumanya gavumenti ennungi kati gavumenti ebya Museveni ekoze. No, why are you here if you are just shouting? Why are you attacking us if you are just shouting? Why are you here? Which knowledge are you bringing here? Which knowledge are you bringing here? Everything is in camera. Everything is like it's documented. Juma jangu osuule wuno omuyambi wa Museveni azze okudaalira bwa protectinga gaini za Museveni. Kati buno bwe basuulira obusammambiro lwaki temuddayo gye mwava? Mwajja mu Uganda ne muyiga okwogera ennimi zaffe kaakati mututudaalira. Teweesiba ku Banyarwanda. Abanyarwanda baaliwo nga okitegera tetwagala no tribalism. Abanyarwanda mulimu Abanyarwanda abalungi. We are only talking about those people who are by Museveni to terrorize Ugandans.
And the reason
is more better than
ono Sankara nze mumanyi naka SF ajja wano atubulira kategeera kasimanya
Sankara soko omuggyeko banna
wamati masitula Sankara omubulokinga n'omubulokinga tadda na wano.
does not represent.
By the way, it's better abeereko wano.
We know the UK.
which piece nga bakuba abantu wano
Which
piece? Ono omusajja wabwe bamwasiza omutwe which piece is that?
The
Sankara sirika mwana
being abducted.
promoting,
piece
training.
Sankara, it's better you mute yourself and listen. Let us
Who goes
listen.
back to Uganda and rape, murder,
you
sodomize
quiet.
Uganda
You don't know
on
anything.
daily basis. 42 years of dictatorship is more than enough. Just a simple hit of the UK. They
Is it
sent
just
1 million
nonsense?
pounds to Uganda.
Toyina
In the name of aid.
musirikira.
That
You're
includes
just there deceiving yourself.
ammunitions,
After 15
tear
minutes, that's
gas,
when you know that honor is there to
military
stay.
trucks,
Kubanga atuleetedde
uniform,
emirembe. Abamu
which is being
tetwandibadde tumuwagira
supplied and
naye
used
mirembe
by
ki
the
nga bakuwa pulezidenti waffe mirembe
junta.
Can you mute yourself? People are lotting in them. Messages making them.
you propaganda, please.
Edi Mutwe is in torture chambers.
Edi Mutwe.
We are going to stay here as Ugandans up to 4,000.
Nowhere
We
Uganda
need
will
highlight
be even after
the
you.
injustice
Uganda yakubeera
by the
namwe
UK government, by the Prime Minister Keir
Bawaliseetawo Uganda bagamba
gwe Sankara gwe mwana
obuzimbe bwa
Uganda.
n'ebintu
Sankara mute yourself.
NLP
tebina kyebibaganyula tebinanyula
is
Gwanda
time for the brutal campaign in Uganda right now.
which piece are you saying that that Uganda have Uganda
If you have peace, why are you here? This platform for the people who don't have peace. So for you who have peace, why are you on this platform?
Will be why.
mubikolere mu mawanga gammwe
lwaki weereeta ku mukolo gwe batakuise
bannanga abazimba badde basaba batuwulirizeeko bwe tuba twogera wano nga mutuwamu kaagundi
jangu ojjeko Sankara
n'abazungu bennyini babatumira ne balaba abasibe bagamba kale look at these fools instead of building their countries they are just you are not a modern you even if nze newonzijako emirembe gasigala Uganda newonzijako amazima gajja kusigala nga mazima
amazima ga maama
kigenderwakyo kyeki
oli byogera Sankara tulina magezi sajja afuze emyaka 4 tuli bubi bantu bafangirana abantu bali makomera abantu bafunda nawe ng'ogamba obwemirembe Museveni yaleta
Museveni yekoni Museveni killed northern people nga yekweka mukoni
yalondebwa kuba
He's never been elected by Ugandans. He only used the powers of gun. He only came by gun. He came as a rebel.
ekyasinza okubeera n'eddembe
oyogera kuva ku majja mirundi oba 10 mirundi oba mitwalo emeka twali kyogera n'ensiramu
Tumajjako Sankara Sankara
Sankara olifweke
Sankara
mujjeeko
banaye tubeere beesimbu twogere
Sankara zikako bannange
twogere ensonga ezigasa eggwanga
Sankara zisemwa obulungi
Yamisha, are you there?
Yamisha Costa Isaac.
Of Uganda for the last 42 years, knowing very well that human rights in Uganda is being abused. Democracy in Uganda doesn't exist. We condemn the training of the military personnel who come from Uganda, including the grandson of the brutal dictator Muhoozi, who is in Sandhurst as we stand today here. Museveni has been in power for the last 42 years. The junta of Uganda, Museveni, he has been torturing Ugandans for the last 42 years. But still the Minister of Defense sends arms to Uganda. The Minister of Defense sends tear gas to Uganda. The Minister of Defense sends ammunition to kill Ugandans in Uganda. Under this brutal 42-year junta in power, the brutal dictator came to power time for Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher, God bless her, she's gone. But the brutal dictator Museveni is still in power. In the UK, we've had 13 prime ministers. In Uganda, we still live under the same brutal junta Museveni of Uganda. In America, they've changed 8 presidents. The junta came to power. Time for Margaret Thatcher and time for Reagan. And the brutal dictator is still in power. And the Minister of Defense is still defending him by sending arms to Uganda, by sending ammunition to Uganda, by training the brutal militias from Uganda. Shame on the Minister of Defense. Shame on the double standard of the Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, who is sending £1 billion to Uganda with no accountability. That £1 billion should be helping the homeless UK residents and citizens who are sleeping in in the middle of the streets of London and the streets of the UK together. That £1 billion should be help the policemen who are earning not enough money than sending that money to Uganda with no accountability. £1 billion comes from your pocket and my pocket. That is the UK taxpayers' money being sent to Uganda with no accountability. The UK Defense Ministry is involved in the murdering of Ugandans in Uganda. The Ministry of Defense is involved in the torturing of Ugandans in Uganda. The Ministry of Defense is involved in the sodomizing of Ugandans in Uganda. They send £1 billion to facilitate, to enable the brutal dictator of Uganda, Museveni, to long stay in power. Well, this is the longest brutal dictator in Africa. Why they are sending £1 billion to Uganda, while the brutal dictator is the richest brutal dictator in the world, with £16 billion on his head. But still, your tax money and mine is being sent to Uganda on a yearly basis to facilitate, to enable the brutal dictator, the junta of Uganda, Museveni, to long stay in power after 42 years in power. The brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda has been brutalizing Ugandans for the last 42 years and is still brutalizing Ugandans. While the UK is still sending £1 billion, still sending arms to Uganda, still sending tear gas to Uganda, still sending ammunition to Uganda, and training of the militias from Uganda who go back to Uganda and rape, murder, torture, kidnap Ugandans on daily basis. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. We might be few in numbers, but we represent 50 suffering million Ugandans who cannot stand and demonstrate under this brutal dictator in Uganda, Museveni, the junta of Uganda. 42 years does not represent democracy or human rights. The UK is the mother of democracy in the world. The UK is the mother of human rights in the world. Why, the question Ugandans are asking, why they are still supporting, financing, promoting, facilitating training of the militias from Uganda? People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. We are here to stay today. We need to highlight the injustice, the double standard by the UK government by standing side by side with the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda, a brutal dictator who has ruled Uganda with iron fist for 42 years now. This is 42 years. We live under this brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. It's 42 years Ugandans have been brutalizing by this brutal dictator. It's 42 years of raping of Ugandans in Uganda. It's 42 years of our young boys in Uganda being sodomized by the militias who have been trained by the UK Ministry of Defense. That's why today we are standing in front of Ministry of Defense to condemn the Ministry of Defense. Why today they still support the brutal dictator? Why today they are still training the militias from Uganda, including the grandson of the brutal dictator Museveni? The grandson is in Sandhurst. We have W. Christophe a son has trained. He's a brutal dictator. He's a brutal monster in Uganda now. They all have been trained in Sandhurst, the best military academy in the world. We don't want to believe that in Sandhurst they train to torture people. No. That's what we don't think so. But the action of these monsters who have been trained in Sandhurst, they go back to Uganda and they are waterboarding Ugandans. They are raping Ugandans in the name of punishment. They are sodomizing young boys for wearing a red beret. They are raping women who stand against the brutal 42-year dictator in power. People power. Our power. The Minister of Defense has not come out to condemn the brutalities. The opposition leader, our President, Robert Sentamu Kyagulanyi Bobi Wine, is going through during this campaign period. It's all business as normal for the Minister of Defense. They told us that they cannot change their position on Uganda. They have to carry on, continue to facilitate, to enable the brutal dictator Museveni, the junta of Uganda, to long stay in power as long as his normal business with him. Shame on the Minister of Defense. Shame on the Minister of Defense. Shame on the UK for sending arms to Uganda. Shame on you for not condemning the atrocities happening in Uganda as we stand here. Shame on the UK for supporting the 42-year brutal dictator, the junta of Uganda. Shame on the UK for sending £1 billion to Uganda with no accountability. Shame on you for robbing the mineral resources of Uganda in the name of democracy. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. We know very well that UK flourish where brutal dictators survive. We give you the arms, come and take as much as you want. We know Uganda is the richest country in Africa with the largest deposits of gold. Who is mining that gold? UK companies.
Shame on you.
Who is exploring the oil in Uganda?
UK.
It's Total and the UK shell.
Shame on you.
Who is robbing the mineral resources of Uganda? It's the UK. Who is robbing us of our democracy in Uganda? The UK. Who is supporting the brutal dictator? The UK. Shame on my country, the UK. UK should be standing with the 50 suffering million Ugandans who are being battered to death by this brutal dictator on the daily basis in Uganda. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. It's unbelievable that the UK can still stand with a 42-year-old brutal dictator in power. A brutal dictator who came to power in 1986. A brutal dictator who have caused suffering around the Great Lakes. Museveni is in Congo, DRC. Museveni is the same man in Southern Sudan. Museveni is M23. Museveni is in Somalia in the name of Al-Shabaab. Right now, Museveni is in Central Africa. This is on the eye watch of the UK government. The UK government still facilitates and sends tons and tons of arms to Uganda. These arms ends up in Rwanda. We talk about a genocide in Uganda. This was facilitated by the UK because the UK sends £1 billion to Uganda, and that £1 billion was circled, and you hear genocide in Rwanda. It was the UK behind it. 1 million people were murdered in Rwanda. Over 3 million people have been murdered in DRC Congo. Over 4 million people have been murdered in Southern Sudan. All these are arms coming from the UK. All these ammunitions are coming from the UK. The tear gas is coming from the UK. The uniform the militias are wearing comes from the UK. Even the mask to hide their faces after they've committed crimes against humanity comes from the UK. The UK stands responsible for the brutalities being committed on Ugandans today. They sent £1 billion to Uganda in the name of aid. That aid includes arms, it includes tear gas, it includes ammunition. We don't have a war in Uganda. Why the UK should be sending arms to Uganda? Those arms ends up in DRC Congo. The same arms go to Southern Sudan. And when you see refugees running away, the UK want to send them back to the countries of origin. But what is the real cause of their running away? Is the UK supporting brutal dictators around the world, including Uganda as one of them. We've been here, some of us 40 years, since the brutal dictator came to power. We are the victim of this brutal dictator. He killed and murdered our families. We are British, but we're still fighting for our ancestors in Uganda who cannot stand like we are standing today and express that democracy is due in Uganda. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Thank you.
DJ music interlude.
Oh, people power, our power. Hello, the UK and the people everywhere around the world. We are a group that is part of, fighting or trying to see that we have democracy in Uganda. We are the group that has always come out to point out the atrocities that have been committed by the brutal dictator in Uganda, being supported by the UK and the EU. The Minister of Defense, this building here, is the one that is responsible, that oversees all the facilitations of the military support that goes to Uganda, which ends up being used to murder all the innocent civilians in Uganda. The Minister of Defense, the British government, all of that, those departments are the ones that oversee the murders, the innocent killings that happen in Uganda on a daily basis by the brutal dictator Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The dictator who came in power in 1986 is still the same president that still runs as the president, and whenever he conducts elections, which he always rigs the votes, the British government is the first to congratulate the dictator for having run the peaceful and free and fair elections. Even when other governments come out to question the elections, the British government is always the first to congratulate. Why? Because of their selfish personal interests, their selfish interest to their countries, which includes taking all the minerals from Uganda, taking all the resources that should have been used by the poor Ugandans who end up running away from their countries, and when they run, like it's been measured by my colleague, when they run to countries like the UK, you want to send them back when actually you're the one stealing the resources that should have been used to facilitate or to run their own countries. The Minister of Defense is on the watch of sending of arms and ammunition that are being used to brutalize Ugandans, that are being used to kill all the democracies, all the human rights, all the institutions that could have been upholding all the rights of the people of Uganda. Shame on the Ministry of Defense. I wonder, shame on Ministry of Defense. I wonder how you sleep at night when you have blood on your hands. The Minister of Defense is personally accountable to the murders that are happening in the country. The Minister of Defense and the country that rich government has blood on their hands. Do they even care? They don't care because of their interests. The UK does not need dictators to advance their interests in the country. They don't need dictators around Africa to advance their business interests in the country. All they need is to make sure that we have democracy in all these African countries. But they haven't done that. What do? They come behind and steal all the minerals that are meant to be used. Now we are heading for another election, and still the brutal dictator is standing as the president against a young boy, His Excellency Robert Sentamu Kyagulanyi. What we are asking now is for you to come out and denounce all the murders and denounce all the atrocities that have been meted on people, innocent civilians in Uganda. The brutal dictator is now planning to turn the internet off, as it was in Tanzania when dictator Samia Suluhu turned off the internet and killed thousands and thousands. And now after that happening, you come up to condemn it. We are telling you that this is the time for you to come in and stop what could be going to happen by the brutal dictator. We are asking the UK government, through their ambassador, Lisa Chesney, who is in Uganda right now, I hope you get this message. Instead of running from place to place in good places, going to functions, please mind to see that you find out what the causes of the death and what is causing the lack of peace in the country. The Minister of Defense, in contact with Lisa Chesney, you are sending arms and ammunition, and we are telling you, we know all these details, we have all the numbers, we have all the list of the interests you have in the country. The stealing of minerals, the taking of all the resources that should have been used to run the country. The Minister of Defense comes in the pretext of giving peace in the country, and you end up being the ones sponsoring these brutal murderers. Like I was saying, the junta is going to turn off the internet. We shouldn't wait that time to come before you can come up. What plans do you have when the brutal dictator stops or shuts off the internet? What plans do you have to stop all this happening? If you don't come in, if you don't condemn this, if you don't see that we have a free and fair election, this is when people power comes in. And once people power steps in, you will also be the victim. I don't think that when people power comes in, and which is going to happen, I guarantee you, because you have left it too late. You have left it because of your selfish interests
to see that you advance only your business interests and you don't care about the innocent blood that is being shed in the country. You are going to be victim of this when people power takes over. I don't think the British Embassy will still exist in Uganda, and you, Ambassador Lisa Jesney, in Uganda, I don't think you will be comfortable or you'll be safe when you just sit there and see people power taking over. Now that the president is going around the country campaigning, all the uniforms, all the boots, all the guns, all the resources that are being used in this are facilitated and funded by the UK government, which goes through the channel of the Ministry of Defense. And we are saying this, that we now know. We know your plans and we are not going to take it. People power is going to step in and take over, but we're telling you, we are warning you, we are saying this, that before all that happens, come in and say something, condemn it, and get the brutal dictator to go or to conduct a free and fair elections, which he has already lost anyway. So the UK government, stop sponsoring the murderings, the rapings, and all the atrocities that are happening in Uganda. A people power, our power.
Thank you, comrade.
Keya pa Uganda. Wanwatie keya pa Uganda. Wanwatie keya pa Uganda. We are soldiers, soldiers of Uganda. We are soldiers, soldiers of Uganda. We are soldiers, soldiers of Uganda. We are people, people of Uganda. We are people, people of Uganda. People power, our power. Puerpadano, people power, our power. Puerpadano. Wanwatie keya pa Uganda. Wanwatie keya pa Uganda. Wanwatie keya pa Uganda. I just want to say thank you so much for my fellow Ugandans who are here. For those of you who are passing and voiceless people in Uganda at this time. Uganda is going through a process that we call democratic process, campaigns at the minute. And many of you don't know anything. And many of the news are not filtered on the BBC, ITV, Sky, except I just wanted, if you are listening, you need to go on CNN and see what is happening. And if you see, you are ignoring. But I just want to tell you this. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And it is said, peace is not the absence of war, but it's the absence of justice, injustice. So for us here, we're trying to highlight and we're trying to say that there are lots of people in Uganda who are dying. People are being tortured. By whom? By the military that the defense even knows about. They're being killed during a campaign that is supposed to be peaceful. And so, my fellow citizens of this country, I just want you to know that there are so many people back in Uganda who have lost their lives and others are imprisoned just because of standing for a different political party. And that is not a democracy. And I just want to say that if you are listening, please write to your MP. Write to your MP and let your MP know that Ministry of Defense has blood on their hands. Yes. They have blood of Ugandans on their hands, and this is not a joke. The bloods of Uganda are red as any other person's blood. So we want you, we would like you to listen and take this message so that you can reach out to your MPs and know that people, the placards we are having here, all these are reality, they're not fiction, they're not AI. They are real pictures of our loved ones who have been injured, who have been beaten by the military. And most of these military men are trained in the UK. In the UK, with all the intelligence, they know everything that is happening in Uganda, but they choose to be quiet. But I just want to warn you, when you're quiet in the midst of injustice, that injustice will turn back and haunt you for God and my country. Thank you, and lady.
People power, our power. Today we are here on the Minister of Defense. Minister of Defense, we have gathered here today of ongoing terrorists in Uganda. UK government, I don't think that you don't see whatever going in Uganda. Ugandans are in the process of transition in power. For us, we no longer need power, we need leaders. But UK, you have done a lot in torturing Ugandans. Minister of Defense, you have done a lot in our torturing in Uganda. Minister of Defense, for me, I don't agree that you don't see what's going on in Uganda. You see them because this generation is all over internet. We have YouTubes, we have Facebooks, we have Twitters. I don't think that you don't see them. But because you have Museveni giving you our minerals in a cheap price in exchanges of you and your government giving them guns, tear gases, cars, military cars. Ugandans, we don't do military cars. Ugandans, we don't do police cars. But instead of buying ambulances, you give Museveni police cars with tear gas. Shame on you, Minister of Defense. Shame on you, Minister of Defense. Shame on you, Parliament of UK. Every blood as shared in Uganda is in your hands. Even UK residences. Every blood, every youth has been killed in Uganda. Every youth has been shared in Uganda is on the hands of UK residences, UK Parliament, and UK Defense Minister. The generation we are in is no longer Haiti generation. We have all the means on the internet to see what's going on in Uganda. You go and search Uganda right now. Our brothers and sisters are dying. Our mothers are dying because you take our burden free in exchange of us being killed. In exchange of you being with Museveni, for you to be getting our things on free. Because if it's not that, why can't you talk? Why can't you come out as you say you are the democracy country. Why don't you go in Uganda and make Museveni go away from our country? You know Museveni is a refugee as well in our country. But because he gives you what you want on free, you are silent in our torture. You are silent in our death. You are silent. You are so silent. Why? Whenever we do demonstrations here, the UK residents, you just pass us. But you are silent in our torture. But when we are here, you say that we are refugees. We will be refugees in your country as long as you are torturing us in our own country. We will be refugees in your country as long as you are torturing us in our country. By taking our minerals on free, by taking our goods on free in exchanges of guns, in exchanges of you are training the killers in your military base. In your military base here in the UK, there is Uganda military training who are going back in Uganda. Instead of doing their work, they are killing Ugandans, they are raping Ugandans, they are kidnapping Ugandans in the broad daylight. For me, I come here today to first say that I don't think that you don't see what's going on in Uganda. But because you get free things, because you still are God. For me, I will say that you still are God. That's why you are silent. For me, I say that because you are stealing our petrol, that's why you are silent. When we are dying. But let me tell you this. We are the generation and we're going to fight for ourselves. That's why we are here today on the Minister of Defense. Minister of Defense, we are not going to beg you. We don't beg for our freedom. But we are telling you, if you don't do something, if you don't use your office to stop the terrorism in Uganda, to stop the funding which doesn't do the work, we have started being even refugees in our own countries. People have been chased on the lands because of the gold down in the land, because of the petrol down in their lands. And you know that. But you decided with a dictator to give the dictator give you those on free in exchange that you give him a police cars with the tear gas. You give them a you give them a free, because even I think it's free, a free training killers. You train killers in Uganda. Shame on you, Minister of Defense. Shame on you, residents of UK. Shame on you, Parliament of UK. There is no longer democracy in Uganda. And yet you say you are a democrat of the world. You say you are the British. You are the British. But you don't even look in your democracy. Because if you don't have democracy in Uganda, it means you don't have democracy here as well. Because on what I know, UK, you colonize Uganda. Whatever going on in Uganda is on you. So we are here, I'm telling and I'm asking the Minister of Defense, do something. Do something and stop all this. Because you can do that. And you have a right to do that. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere.
Thank you, thank you. People power. Amani, people power. Our power. People power. Our power. MUP and everywhere. People power. We are refugees because of Museveni. We are refugees. We are suffering. We are refugees. We are suffering. Rwanda is suffering. Congo is suffering. Tanzania is suffering. Kenya is suffering. Who is a dictator? Museveni is a dictator. Who is a murderer? Museveni is a murderer. Who is a killer? Who is a killer? Who is a murderer? Who is a dictator? Who is a rapist? Who is a dictator? Who is a bad guy? Rwanda is suffering. We are refugees. We are refugees. Who is a dictator? Who is a murderer? Who is a killer? Who is a murderer? Who is a dictator? People power. People power in our power. Thank you so much. Yeah, we are here just because we never planned to be here in the UK, in the US, in Canada, in all parts of the world except our country, Uganda. We are in Britain, we are in Canada because we have a 40 years dictator who has spent power, who has been in power for the last 40 years. That is not really, it's not imaginable. We saw different prime ministers of UK have come and gone. Cameron, Blair, mention them, Gordon, Margaret Thatcher, mention all of them. They've come and left. But we still have a dictator, a 40-year dictator in power. He's murdering Ugandans, killing innocent Ugandans, those who don't support dictatorship in the world. It's unfortunate that the government of the United Kingdom is just quiet. The mothers of democracy, our former colonial masters, are quiet when all these injustices are put on Ugandans. It's a shame. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you, Minister of Defense. It's so shameful that this country colonized Uganda in the past, and they gave us independence. We acquired independence in the 1962. But from 1962, we've not achieved total independence. We are still facing neo-colonialism. However, we don't mind. But what we mind about is the lives of our brothers and sisters who are killed day by day, every now and then. And as I speak right now, as we demonstrate right now, the dictator is killing some Ugandans who don't support dictatorship. It's so shameful that the UK government, our former colonial masters, are quiet when all these injustices are taking place. when innocent lives are suffering. Wake up, United Kingdom. Wake up, UK. Wake up, United Kingdom, and fight for the rights of Ugandans. We know United Kingdom has a lot of interests, including minerals, oil, and other stuff. We don't mind. But what we mind about is the lives. Come out and speak against the dictator. Is 45 rule in power democracy as you describe it? No. Therefore, United Kingdom government, come out and condemn General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni a murderer. The entire Great Lakes region is suffering just because of one man, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Minister of Defense, if you didn't know, I know you know, but you pretend to not to know. But all this is orchestrated. It's manufactured with you guys under General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The 1994 Rwanda genocide was planned in Uganda and spearheaded by General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and Kagame. Over 1 million lives of Rwandese died. The Kasese massacre, thousands of women and young kids were shot dead in the Mumbere's palace. Today, United Kingdom, you see all that on social media and on news, and you're quiet. It is not fair. UK, wake up, because you are our former colonial masters. We know United Kingdom has a big say in the politics of Uganda, and that's why we are here to cry for the justice of Ugandans who are murdered day by day. Whoever is listening to this message, don't take Ugandans for granted. Don't play with the people's lives in Uganda. The African lives matter. The Uganda lives matter. As your life matters, we, the Africans, we, Ugandans, also our lives matter. So come out and condemn and freeze all the accounts of a dictator. Freeze all the accounts and assets in UK of dictator General Yoweri Museveni. Some of these properties, we know where they are in UK. We want the Ministry of Defense, the Parliament, the Prime Minister's office to condemn, to confiscate, and to freeze all the dictators' assets in United Kingdom. It's not fair. One man killing millions of Ugandans. General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has vowed to kill Ugandans if they don't support him in the 2026 January 15th elections. United Kingdom is quiet. Shame on you, United Kingdom, when African lives are dying. We are refugees because of Museveni. We are refugees. We are refugees. Congo is suffering. Rwanda is suffering because of Museveni. Rwanda is suffering because of Museveni. Burundi is suffering. Everywhere people are suffering because of General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the masterminder, the warlord on the African continent. If Museveni is gone, the African continent will be the best continent to live in. Right now, as you go to Africa to tour as tourists, that country is not safe for you. The dictator is killing day and night. Go and watch social media, watch the local television stations in Uganda. You'll see every day. And as I speak now, the presidential candidate is suffering just because one man wants to cling in power for over 100 years, and the United Kingdom is quiet. It's a shame for our former colonial masters. You should set a pace.
you should condemn this dictator who is misbehaving, and you should arrest. You should through ICC, International Criminal Court. You should sanction this criminal called General Yoweri Museveni. Coming to power, he poured over 1 million lives down. He poured blood. In the 1986, General Yoweri Museveni killed over 1 million Ugandans to come in power. And the only gift he is leaving for Ugandans is killing them these coming elections. UK is quiet. UK is quiet. Prime Minister Starmer is quiet. Minister of Defense is quiet. And yet, all 50 million Ugandans know it very well that UK are our former colonial masters. What do you have to say, United Kingdom? When we see you coming to Uganda, we respect you as our former colonial masters. Why we need you is now, not after elections, not after Museveni has killed thousands and thousands of Ugandans. United Kingdom, whoever listening to this voice, we need you now. If you don't come now to stop the murderer, a 40-year dictator, never come back to Uganda. You'll be useless. Right now we are using this platform to call on to you to come and to put your satellite cameras in Uganda and see what is happening right now. The son of a dictator is ordering to kill Ugandans if they don't support his father, who has been in power for the last 40 years. UK is quiet. United Kingdom, Ministry of Defense, Parliament of UK, ICC, World Bank, America, and all people come out and condemn this century, the Gen Z generation. This century is not the other centuries where people were killed like nothing. It's time to respect human rights. It's time to hype the human rights. UK, we expect you to lead the advocacy for human rights. Since you are our former colonial masters, you should come out and condemn the dictator. Don't lie with the dictator in the bed. This is the time we need United Kingdom and the current Prime Minister, Starmer, with your Minister of Defense, come out before the elections, January 2026, and condemn the acts of a dictator. And not only condemn, act as you acted in the past. Come out and act. We are the voice of 50 million Ugandans. We give you that liberty to come and act. We need Museveni arrested. Museveni is verging to kill Ugandans if they don't support him. He has already militarized elections. There are no elections where they bring guns that shoot planes down. But it's in Uganda where the military is conducting elections and the military is campaigning for a dictator, for a 40-year dictator. And because the people, Uganda People's Defense Forces are Zizeemu, my army, and UK, you're quiet. United Kingdom, you're quiet. It's a shame as our former colonial masters. We need you now, before January 15th, to come out and condemn and act against a 40-year dictator, Museveni, who is killing Ugandans up to now. If you've never seen a leader who throws human beings into crocodile and they eat them live, it is General Yoweri Museveni who is doing that now. If you want to believe with me, put your satellite cameras and see what is taking place in Uganda. Museveni is capable of feeding human beings on crocodiles.
And his son has a pond of crocodiles. So if you don't support him, he picks one by one and he throws them, and crocodiles eat them. Dictator Museveni is a murderer who is taking young people who had abducts young people and throws them into national parks, and they are eaten by lions. United Kingdom is quiet. We don't need you after elections. We need you now to protect Bobby Wine, the people's choice, not a dictator who has been in power for the last 40 years. United Kingdom, wake up. Prime Minister Starmer, wake up. Minister of Defense, United Kingdom, wake up. If you don't come now, don't come forever. This is the time we need you as our former colonial masters. There are so many people who hate blacks in their communities, but we also never planned to come into your communities. We love our countries, but because you're supporting you yourselves, United Kingdom, you're supporting that dictator. He displaces us. He makes us homeless in our countries. And the only option is to come in countries like UK, US, Canada, and other European countries. We never planned to live in the UK. We were never born in this kind of environment, the winter. In Africa, there's no winter. There's no summer. The weather is the best. But we are here suffering because of a dictator UK government supports. UK government, you support a dictator who is killing Ugandans for the last 40 years. Coming to power, he murdered. He's still murdering. United Kingdom, wake up. Say something. We need you now, not tomorrow. We need you now, not after elections. Whoever is hearing this voice, come out. Act. Condemn and act. Do the needful. Ugandans' lives matter than the gold you want. Ugandans' lives matter than the oil you want. Ugandans' lives matter than the minerals you prefer in exchange of power with the dictator. If you want the minerals of Uganda, the oil of Uganda, come broad daylight and sit with the People's Choice President and tell him, I want the oil. But you go with your dictator. We know Museveni is a worker of the Western world. Museveni is used by the Western powers to destabilize the African continent, to extract minerals from that African continent. But we beg you, we ask you, come and take your dictator, Yoweri Museveni, who has been in power for the last 40 years, who is murdering Ugandans right now, and we sit with you on table, you take what you want. What we believe is African lives matter than the gold, than the oil you people are craving for. People power. Our power. Mudemu na amani, people power. Our power. NUP and everywhere. Thank you so much. I'll give you the break.
People power. Our power. Now listen to this. Protecting our gains. Do we have any gain to protect in Uganda? The answer is no. We cannot protect the kidnapping in Uganda. We cannot protect the murdering of Ugandans. We cannot protect the rape and sodomizing of Ugandans in Uganda. So Museveni, we have nothing to protect. We cannot protect corruption, which has been going on for the last 41 years. We cannot protect bad roads and schools and hospitals in Uganda. And that's why we are condemning the Minister of Defense for sending arms, ammunition, tear gas to Uganda while they don't put this brutal dictator Museveni accountability of the £1 billion which goes to Uganda every year. We don't have no public service delivery. You might think we are talking about planes. We are talking about schools. We are talking about roads. We are talking about hospitals. Why do you give him military patrol cars while we don't have working ambulances in Uganda? The brutal dictator, his own convoy is made up of 500 armored cars. Every day, the brutal dictator spends £2.5 million a day on his personal protection. We don't have a war in Uganda, but the UK Minister of Defense, while Ugandans are being brutalized and murdered by this brutal dictator, the Minister of Defense is sending arms, tear gas, and ammunition to Uganda. We don't have a war in Uganda. We need medical equipment because even the brutal dictator, he accesses medical tourism to the UK. St. Thomas Hospital around the corner is one of the main hospitals where the brutal dictator is treated. While Ugandans cannot afford a £1 paracetamol, but the brutal dictator, the first family, flies first class on the Uganda's taxpayers' money to come and enjoy the life in the UK. We are the victims of the brutal dictator. We are here because of the UK supporting brutal dictators around the world, and mainly the one in Uganda. Museveni has been in power for 42 years, and it's the same UK complaining about immigrants in the UK. We will not be here. We are the victim of the brutal dictators around the world. We are here because the Minister of Defense facilitates, enables Uganda, the brutal dictator Museveni, to sit on Ugandans for the last 41 years. We can't say a word in Uganda. UK is the mother of democracy. 41 years in power does not represent democracy. 41 years in power does not represent human rights. The UK is the mother of democracy in the world, but they are still supporting a 41-year-old brutal dictator in power. This man, the monster of Uganda, came to power in 1986. Time for Margaret Thatcher, time for Ronald Reagan in America. Up to now, we still live under the same brutal junta Museveni of Uganda. It's only in Uganda where we don't have working hospitals, but the brutal dictator's motorcade, he has got 500 armored cars. One car alone costs £250,000. In one day, the brutal dictator spends $2.5 million on his entourage. But we don't have schools in Uganda. £1 billion goes to Uganda every year. That money should stay in the UK to help our brothers and sisters who are homeless in the UK. That money should be going to make or to build more houses for the UK residents than sending £1 billion to Uganda with no accountability. This is your money and my money. Today we didn't go to work because we have to come and stand outside Minister of Defense who are facilitating training the brutal arm of Uganda, who are raping, sodomizing Ugandans on daily basis. Women in Uganda are being raped every day. Young boys are being sodomized by the military, who are being trained by the UK government. The brutal dictator's son is in Sandhurst as we stand here, being trained to become another monster. Sandhurst is one of the best military academies in the world, but he's there now training. He's being used to train monsters. You are very lucky, my girls and boys who are going to school. Unlike in Uganda, children like you have got no opportunity to go to school because we live under dictatorship. We've been living under this brutal dictator for 41 years. We are the victim of this brutal dictator. People power, our power. So when the brutal dictator talk of the games, protecting the games, we as Ugandans, we've got nothing to protect, because in Uganda we don't have no schools. In Uganda we don't have no roads. In Uganda we don't have no hospitals. And when the brutal dictator, he can afford to fly first class and be treated in St. Thomas. That is one of their hospitals. But for the last 41 years, he hasn't built even a referral clinic in Uganda. For the 41 years,